first time, I'm Bron Pearson from Pinnacle People Solutions, and welcome to our weekly webinar about all things HR. So I'm delighted today to have with us Tina Allen, who's the Secretary Manager from Quirindi RSL Club. And Quirindi RSL are one of our wonderful Pinnacle People Solutions clients, and we're delighted to be here with Tina today to ask her all sorts of things about HR audits and frameworks, and why having these things in place has been really important for the club. So before we get underway with today's interview, just a reminder that Pinnacle People Solutions provides human resource services, advice, support, solutions, you name it, to small to medium-sized enterprises and not-for-profit organisations. And we are here to help your business adapt and to thrive. So you can contact us and our wonderful team anytime via Facebook, and I'm sure the contact details are going to be going up in the chat screen shortly, or via email or telephone, or visit our website at pinnaclepeoplesolutions.com.au. So as a continuation of our COVID-19 employer advisories, each Thursday evening we'll be doing a deep dive into a particular HR topic to provide information on all sorts of topics of interest relating to regionally based business. So if you have anything in particular that you'd like to know more about, don't hesitate to get in touch with us. If you're watching this on Facebook, and you'd like to receive notification of when we're going live on Facebook in the future, you can do that by clicking the bell icon in the top right corner of your screen, and you will never miss a HR update or webinar ever again. I'm not sure how exciting that is for people, but nonetheless, if that floats your boat, you won't ever have to worry about missing one ever again. So today, as I said, I'm delighted to be here with Tina, and to be able to interview Tina in respect of all things HR in the world of clubs. And God knows it's been an incredibly challenging time for these guys in recent months with COVID, and continues to be. So Tina, maybe if we could start with just getting you to talk to our audience about a bit about yourself. How long have you been working with Quirindi RSL Club and in the club game? And how's the last few months been?
Well, I've been with the Quirindi RSL for 14 years, and in that time I've worked my way through the ranks. We've seen plenty of testing times. I've started in the bar and just, I guess, climbed the ranks through and knew exactly where I wanted to be. I absolutely love the club industry, love the people in it, and just thought I can do this. We've had quite a few managers come and go in my time. Recently, over the last couple of years, they've been more recent. We've had 2 different changes, and it was about time that I thought, okay, I'm going to put my hand up and give this a red hot crack.
Fantastic, fantastic. Well, you are a classic example of fantastic local career progression into the most senior management role here at the club. The buck pretty much stops with Tina, bless her, and we're delighted to have been able to partner with the club now for a few years. We've been working with the club on a range of different fronts in that time. The timing of what we're going to talk about the we did with the club, and also the making sure that your HR and health and safety framework process was put into place. It's been somewhat disrupted, of course, by COVID-19 and other business changes, and you foreshadowed earlier what some of those have been recently. So I guess, can I ask you, did you find the service from a specialist advisory service responsive and helpful in rescheduling and reorganising the process across this time?
Absolutely amazing. I couldn't fault it one little bit. The questions that we've obviously had to answer very quickly in this time, I would never have done it without you guys, and they're always on tap. So it was absolutely amazing to know that you had support and someone that you could, as a new manager, you don't know everything and you're learning every single day, and to know that you have someone that you can back you up and support you is, yeah, amazing.
Well, it's a delight for us. These guys are the second largest employer in Quirindi, behind the Liverpool Plains Shire Council. These guys are the second largest employer in Quirindi. And so we're really, I mean, you're acutely aware, we're acutely aware of just what an impact that has in terms of the community. And obviously the shutdowns initially, lockdowns initially with COVID, and then all of the changes since then, including most recent changes last Friday, have really been a challenge for you guys. So it's been a privilege to support you in that time. Going back to the first step, even pre-COVID, that we went through, which was the audit preparation, how did you find this information gathering process? Was it easy to collate the documents and information that we asked for?
In our instance, it was very easy, because once we had ticking and crossing as we were going, we found that we lacked in a lot of things. Things had just been put to the back burner, and all of a sudden it was placed in front of us, and we went, wow, we need to make some really, really big changes.
Okay, so were you surprised at any of the gaps in information and documentation?
Very.
Okay.
Very.
Okay, so what was running through the audit tool with us actually like? What did you learn about your own organisation that you've been here for 14 years? So what did you learn about it?
Lots. That our processes and procedures weren't what they should be, and it wasn't an open book for people that had been here for a long period of time. Myself, for example, you just kept rolling with what you already knew and didn't upkeep with all the changes. And that was probably one of the biggest issues that we found, that we were so outdated. Right. And we thought that we were all okay when really we weren't.
Yeah, okay. So did those results that we discussed in the audit reports as a consequence, did they surprise you?
Yes, they did. Yeah, they did.
Yeah, okay. So when we moved from the audit reports and the identification of all of the things that we knew were or what came out of the audit report were things that really needed some urgent attention, and as you will remember, we had them divided into high priority, medium priority, and then the nice to haves when we get through the other two. So one of the first things, of course, that we did was to make sure that everybody had up-to-date compliant employment contracts and position descriptions. What were your expectations from this part of the process, and do you feel more confident in your agreements with staff now?
I feel really confident in all our PDs at the minute, because the staff have a really good understanding of their roles. Sometimes it's very easy for people to become complacent and say, well, that's not my duty, that's not my role, I don't need to worry about that. When in a little place like this, we all need to worry about things. When I say a little, we have probably the largest, as you've touched on, but in a small club like this, other places have HR managers, and they have bar supervisors and bar gaming managers. We don't. We have to do the best of both worlds, and we run a motel as well. So it was very interesting with the PDs, and surprising for the staff, I think, where they thought, oh, I can take responsibility for those things. It isn't somebody else's job to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. So in terms particularly of the kinds of pivots you had to make when COVID hit, have you updated those or had to issue sort of further instructions since, in terms of COVID stand downs and things like that?
We've stood down all of our staff. There was only 4 out of both businesses, the motel and here, that we had working in shutdown time. Then we had to reintroduce everybody, and we got our place up to standard and got set, ready to open our doors and things again. So there's been heaps of changes, and as Bron touched on, every week it changes. Well, daily it can actually change for us. So it's we've had to adapt very quickly to, like everybody, changing times, and it's probably been a real eye-opener for all of us and the staff, because we've had to adapt so quickly to changes.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Do you think the process of going through the employment contract and the position description with each staff member individually, which is what we do, which was what we did once we developed the documents with you, do you think that was particularly helpful for staff?
That was fantastic. The staff all had the opportunity to ask questions, which sometimes they don't do when you're in a normal staff meeting. They won't ask, or has anybody got any questions, and everybody's very quiet. Individual face-to-face was really, really good for them as well, to ask the questions that everybody thinks but are never game to put their hand up.
Yeah, fantastic. So today, in fact, this morning, this is timely because this morning we were doing the first stage of the framework build rollout. So did you, coming out of the audit reports, we developed the contracts and the position descriptions, met with everybody, got those in place. Did you have to develop new processes and policies, or mostly updating what you already had?
Oh, a bit both. Updating what we had, but introducing lots of new policies and procedures. Yeah, definitely. Introducing new would outweigh the updating by far, but I think it's going to set us up in a really good position to move forward with all of our staff and their HR, and know where they stand, and we know as a business where we stand as well.
Fantastic. So rollout started today with that. How did it go from your perspective so far?
I think it went really, really well. I don't think the staff were prepared for the in-depth of it all, and I could see by looking around the room, some of the faces were, wow, or this doesn't apply to me, and a couple switched off. But I think they've got the gist that this is the way that the workforce runs, and at the end of the day, and I've been trying to say to the staff, we're there to protect the staff as well as the business as well. So I'm hoping they've walked away with a positive light on that, and I have been saying it's coming and all our disruptions, and I think now they understand that it's here. It is happening, and we're not just telling porkies.
Yeah,
we
absolutely.
are doing something.
So do you think that staff understand their responsibilities and obligations better now? Do you think they're getting more of an understanding of that as we go through?
I think they are. Yeah, you can just see by the looks on their faces was, oh, wow, I didn't realise that affected me, or, yeah, they do understand.
Fantastic. So from your perspective and your experiences to this point in time, and of course we've still got the remainder of the rollout to do, and we might actually catch up with you for a part two once we're completely finished. We'll be back to do health and safety and other aspects of HR in the next few weeks. So what would be your top 3 tips, Tina, for other organisations looking to do a HR audit to discover where their business is currently at, and potentially a framework build with us as PPS?
I guess my top 3 tips was, don't think that everything's okay, that you have everything sorted and you're under control, because none of us are under control. Be open-minded. And I think that opened my eyes a lot. Like, you need to be open-minded, and yeah, it needs to fit into your business, which it does in all different aspects of the workplace. But you listen to advice, and don't think that you're learning every single day. So, and these HR policies and rollouts are a great way to keep in touch with what's happening, and they're all there, and changing them and knowing that you have something in place to protect yourself as well as your team. I think it's an absolute must. It's fantastic. And we're very lucky that we have you, but we also have Clubs New South Wales and things as well. So we have lots of outreach people that help us along the way. But yeah, the rollout has been fantastic, and something that we needed desperately to happen.
Fantastic. Well, it's been an absolute delight to be working with Tina, as we have for the last couple of years, and to continue to do that. These guys are a phenomenal regionally based business and have fantastic people. You're just getting to meet the head of the tree of this organisation today, which we're delighted you've taken the time to join us. So thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for joining us this evening for our webinar. The video of this interview will remain online on Facebook, as well as on LinkedIn, YouTube and our website if you'd like to catch up or watch again later. We'll also be producing a fact sheet based on the information that has been covered off in our interview today, and you'll be able to download that from our website shortly as well. You can also sign up for a weekly digest of our Thursday webinar, the associated fact sheet, and then the Monday news update to be delivered to your inbox every Tuesday by going up and signing up for that on our website at pinnaclepeoplesolutions.com.au. So please join us next Monday for our update at 9:15 every Monday morning on Facebook Live to catch up on all the important COVID impacting and other impacting news for regionally based employers and their staff, and of course general HR. So our webinar next Thursday will actually feature our consultant psychologist Jessica, and she will be asking the question that a lot of people are asking at the moment: how are we coping with the actual lockdowns in Victoria, or potentially future further lockdowns in New South Wales and in other places. And she will, as she always does, give us some fantastic tips and tricks and strategies on how to best navigate through these continuing uncertain times. So tell your colleagues, friends and family who would be interested to get up there and have a listen to Jessica and her strategies as a clinical psychologist, and tune in to see her live next Thursday at 5:30 for next Thursday's webinar. In the meantime, a huge thanks again to Tina Allen, the Secretary Manager at Quirindi RSL Club. It's delightful to be with Tina today and to have heard her experiences. Thank you. In the meantime, please hug the people that you can. Wave cheerily at those that you can't. Stay safe, stay socially distant, keep up that great hand hygiene, and we'll really look forward to seeing you for our next Facebook Live on Monday. Thank you so much, everybody.